Good evening, everybody. My name is Patrick Henley. Welcome to the City of Memphis Zoning Board of Appeals. Everyone rise. We'll say the pledge
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right. We will have roll call. Kevin Mazza. Here. Howard Pierce. Powers. Todd.
Here.
Here. Scott Brewster.
Here.
Rob Zambo.
Here.
Patrick Henley. Here. Barb Garber.
Here.
Here. Eric Schneider.
Here.
Here. All present. No absences? Okay. Adoption or amendment of the agenda.
If there's no changes, I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
All right, so we don't want to amend it to pick a secretary tonight?
Not tonight.
I'm just
Yeah,
throwing
there's-
that out,
We have no,
if not.
there's no body unless someone would like to volunteer to be a secretary.
Well, I was gonna take notes and Steve's taking notes, plus it's on video, plus we have video.
All right, well.
If you want, no, you can go ahead and amend the
You
agenda.
want to make it, you want to,
I make a motion that we amend the agenda to pick a permanent secretary for the zoning board of appeals.
does anyone second that?
Second.
Seconded by Eric. All right.
Hold on. So that would go under, new business number 2, public hearings number 1.
Thank you.
Amended to number 1. You're gonna bear with me here.
You type 45 words a minute.
Type a lot faster than this, probably.
Eric, will you take on the responsibility of being secretary?
No, I'm not a member of this
You
board.
can't be a member of the board. All right, we need to elect.
Yeah, we'll talk about that under new business.
Okay.
So I'll second the motion. You gotta vote on it.
All right. Okay, the adoption or amendment of the agenda at hand.
Aren't you gonna vote on it?
Pardon me?
You vote
We have to vote on it.
on the,
All those in favor of adoption of the agenda, say aye.
Amendment.
Amendment, I'm sorry.
Yes.
All those,
Aye.
all those opposed? It is unanimous. Okay. Citizens' comments regarding the agenda.
I'd like to comment.
I recognize Steve Weaver.
Go to the podium, so you're on the camera. Go to the podium.
Oh, sure.
Stand up straight.
Well, I take an interest in variances just because I am the council rep to the planning commission, and it's important to pay attention to these things. And I looked this over, and I was very happy that Mr. Terrace did go about trying to do this correctly and notify the proper people to look at the property. And, you know, I took a few minutes to look at his parcels of land also. And I think it's really very close whether he even needs a variance to do what he wants to do, putting up this storage shed. I got to know Mr. Terrace a little bit over the last year, and I think he does things very well and properly, and it'll be nothing but an asset to the property values of the city as a whole, and an improvement for his property resale value. And I trust he would do a very good job with it. And I'm very skeptical usually of any variances because that gets to be a habit, but I really don't see where this would cause us any problems in the future. It seems to be kind of an isolated issue, so I just wanted to say that I think that I would be in favor of granting that variance.
Thank you, Mr. Reaver.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Fine, that's fine. I don't know if it's proper, I'm allowed to say it, but I also went out to look at John's property and looked at the topography. And I too am very pleased that you've gone about it. You went to the city, you did this properly, and that takes a little bit from all of us. I'm looking at our building uses and accessories in the residential district. Accessory buildings shall not be erected in any required yard except in the rear of the yard. And the way your property is laid out, that technically is the rear of your yard.
It's, yeah, the very rear of that yard.
It is, I mean, we're splitting hairs.
Yeah.
An open space extended the full width of the lot, the depth of which is minimum horizon distance between the rear of the lot. You're off the property line from the road.
Mhm.
I couldn't see where this was gonna go. I actually went onto your property, nobody was home, but, no, I see what you're doing, and if it's in keeping with the rest of your property, it's very neat, very nice, and appreciate the way you're going about it.
Thank you.
Okay. We are on letter E. Do I have to vote on this? Just our communications, we're going to E to approve
We have-
regular meetings from September 26th. Okay, as the meetings minutes were posted, does anyone have any comment from the past meeting?
I don't have any comment.
Okay, so
I'll make a motion to adopt the minutes as presented.
Support.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, they're accepted. Okay, communications. I received no communications at all with regard to this meeting.
The city did not receive any communications.
Okay,
Okay.
so that
Who
is.
seconded my motion?
Or, yes, thank you. Do we have any unfinished business? All right, new business. We need to vote for a secretary for our zoning board.
No, we need to hold a public hearing. I'll make a motion to open the public hearing at 6:40.
Do we need a support on that?
Yeah.
Support.
All right, all those in favor? All those opposed? All right, let's have a public hearing. This is to approve the variance on the property of John Terrace. He's gone through and Mel's put down his notes here. Must be back a front line of house. It will be. No lettering on the container. I assume it wouldn't.
Well, no,
Pardon me?
it's not behind the front line of the house.
There
That's
is no
why-
house on that lot
There-
at this time.
That's why there's a variance, that's why he's here for a variance.
It's at the back of that lot.
Yeah.
Let's see, it's at the back of the lot here.
No, I know where it is, but it's not behind his house, and it actually says that you can't put.
Yeah, but there is no house on that lot where I'm putting it.
Right, you
That's-
can't put a storage building on an empty property.
And that's why I'm requesting the variance.
That's why we're here for a variance.
Yeah. So, yeah, so my house is here, so this is my
Right.
property with my house. This is a lot, 1.18,
Right.
1.8 acres.
Would be okay for me,
So I want to put that at the back corner.
would that be for me? Just to take a look where it's going?
What's that?
Could I just want to see where it was gonna go?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm here
Are you the neighbor?
for. To see where it's at.
What is your name, sir?
Dan Bell.
Hey.
So this is my property here with my house. And then this is heading west down Bell River, and it's right here. So you live here, right?
Yep,
Okay, yeah, you're over
well,
here.
yep, yep.
Yeah, right next to DPW, yeah.
Okay.
So my house is here, and I got this vacant lot, I split off. I was gonna build a home for my mom up here, and she passed away. So we never ended up building it. So I wanted to put a storage shed there, and eventually I may one day build a house up there, but currently I don't plan to. So there's no driveway going into the lot or anything like that. It's
So it looks like your
pretty
front yard
hidden.
or your side yard.
Yeah, and I plan to paint it right away. I'll paint the storage unit right away, and then I'm gonna do some planting to kind of block it from the road as well. There.
The north side property, and
Yeah.
it's gonna look nice.
And it's not gonna look like a storage unit, because I plan to turn it into looking like a shed. I'm gonna put a roof on it eventually,
See that.
so, okay.
I was told it was totally, I thought it was this big piece right here.
Oh,
I thought that was, they said it was gonna be in the back of that, so.
No,
I mean, there wouldn't be much that I could say.
yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
And part of the reason, so this team knows why, my house doesn't have a basement. So we have no place to put anything. And my garage is kind of maxed out, we can barely fit a car in it. So I need something.
understand that.
I'll give you a clue, I built on the back end of my garage twice and I still don't have enough room.
I know, the more space we get, the more we fill it up.
That's for sure.
This unit you're gonna set here is gonna be set in front, ahead of the front, the north line of your house. It's gonna be set in front of your house,
No, it's gonna be even with my house pretty much, it's right next to it.
even with the front of your house.
Yeah. It's right next to my house.
Let me show you what you have here.
I know the property.
So it's right here,
Here's
yeah.
this house.
Yeah.
Sit right there. The house faces east, with a south, a little bit of a south bend to it. So that's the back of his house, and this is the property.
This is the front of his house.
This is the front right here.
Yeah. Right
Yeah.
here. And where do you live?
On Bell River.
Yeah, I know.
You mean,
I used to walk that road
Yeah.
when it was gravel, kid.
you mean Dan over there?
Huh?
You mean that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives over here.
That's over there.
And he thought it was gonna be back here. In this area. That's not my property.
I'm just concerned about future. This stinking city looks like everybody come in and dropped anything where they wanted. When they died, it stayed right there. The next people move in, it looks worse every year.
Have you been out to see his
Yeah.
property?
Yeah.
I
know the
don't
property
keep my,
well.
I don't keep anything I have looking like garbage, just so
Huh?
you know. I don't keep
I know it
anything that
was
I have
you,
looking like
it's
garbage.
very neat. And
Okay,
actually kind of shocked me when I drove out there.
okay.
Looking it over.
So.
Me too, I got
You
changed.
just make a good point though, that it's not always gonna be your property, that, you know, eventually you're gonna
That's-
move out or.
That's what I'm afraid
or,
of.
You know, whatever, that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
The good news is that no foundation, storage container, it can be pulled out.
It's movable. You could roll it on a
It's
cedar
movable,
post. I mean, well, I can move anything, but you could throw on a cedar post and roll it out of there.
With what I'm gonna do to it, I wouldn't see anybody wanting to pull it out of there, especially if I built the house there and sold it to a family. It's like a pole barn, only it's a storage container that's being converted. So I can put a pole barn up with poles and steel walls, or I can have the sea container brought in that's heavy steel walls and it's set down there, right?
They don't rot, at least not
They
in a
don't rot,
lifetime.
they don't go bad, I'm gonna paint it, keep it looking nice. I plan to put a roof coming off the front of it, so it's got a covered porch to it. And we plan to take a plasma cutter and cut the front of it open and put garage doors or barn doors on the front of it, so it's not gonna look like a container once I get done with it. They take these, just so, I don't know, this board's familiar, but I mean, they're building restaurants out of these things. We went and saw a home, because there's a local guy that's a friend of ours, is an architect, and that's what he does, is build homes out of these containers. And we went and saw a, what was it, like 5,000 square foot home being built out of sea containers.
There's one in Port Huron across the street from the high school.
Yeah, and there's coffee houses, there's one in Miles, they just opened a coffee house, Rose City, Michigan, there's a small carry-out restaurant that's built out of a sea container. So it's a trend.
A friend of mine that manufactures sticky bolsters is also invested in building the mother-in-law quarters that can ship in and drop on property on
Exactly,
preset,
yeah.
and it's ready to go, so you
Yeah.
can make them look pretty good.
Is
Right.
this visible from the house on the other side of you, or?
Just like any other thing, I mean, they got a pole barn on their property, it's visible to me.
There's a hedgerow too, Barb.
Yeah,
Pardon me?
There's a hedgerow
Oh,
that
okay.
Yeah.
really stops. I drove up and down the road looking, and it's because of the topography and the hedgerow,
Yeah.
it's not visible.
yeah, I planted a lot of pine trees along there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your neighbors are aware of what you're doing, or?
They were
It's
sent a
none of their
letter.
business, we don't speak to them really.
They were sent a letter.
Yeah, they were sent a letter, yeah, everybody's notified. And it was
So they could have been
published.
here tonight if they wanted to be, right?
Or they could have mailed in their comments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, so if they haven't responded, then,
no.
okay. All right.
Well, the only thing that I don't like about her is animals digging under it. And I still think you should have a 6 inches isn't very, I've been on construction for 32 years. 6 inches.
I'm a licensed builder. just
6
in case
inches
you
of
wondered
fill
about that.
on top of the ground.
Okay.
It's just like this, spring and fall.
Mhm.
And there's only one way it goes, and
Right.
it's slowly down.
What is our policy for a drop-in,
And
drop-in
I
shed?
think that you should have, that there should be a rat wall put under it, keep the varmints, and they might even dig under that.
We did have, Mel's taking a look at it, he is our
Yeah, I-
inspector, and he said a minimum of 6-inch crust concrete off the grade.
Yeah.
Without a permanent structure, you're not required to have a rat wall. When people put up a garden shed in the back, or
Right.
it's movable, so it's not a requirement.
Just so you guys know, that's my notes with the
Yeah,
6
it was
inches. Mel said I
slow
didn't need to
because
put
of my
anything under it.
experience I've
Because
had.
typically
It's a low
it's
spot, you
right
don't
on
want
the
it.
ground.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're gonna want
I'm
it.
being safe.
Yeah, you're gonna want it.
Yeah.
But it's not a permanent structure. I mean, technically, it can be moved anytime.
Right.
So a rat wall is not required. Concrete's a great idea, though.
Mhm.
All right. Any other comments?
So you added this on here? The minimum 6 inches?
Yeah, that's all my notes. Mel's notes are at the very top, and all the stuff at the bottom, that's all my notes of what I'm planning
Okay.
to do. Yeah. And Mel was good with it. I did review it all with Mel. He was totally good with it.
They're also in Florida right now, I talked to him yesterday.
Yeah.
Poor man. It's cold down there.
Mhm.
40
I think
degrees.
he's working on his house, or on a house down there.
Okay.
Anyone else want to talk? I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Support.
All right, all those in favor? All those opposed? All right. It says comments from the commissioners, that would be us. We've been commenting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, pardon me.
We have to vote, don't we have to vote on the,
Yeah.
we have to vote on giving him the variance.
And you can say whatever you want. Now, this is our time.
Okay. All right. All those in favor of granting...
Hold on.
Oh, pardon me?
Make sure I can let anyone else talk if they want.
I asked if anyone had anything else to say,
Okay.
and no comments were forthcoming, so
Okay.
thank you.
I can't, I just can't see sitting on, as far as I can figure, sitting on top of the ground. And it's 40, it's a lot of weight, and I just think there should be something under to hold it up. Sorry, but I've had a little bit of experience in stuff. So I can't vote for it.
All those in favor of granting Mr. Terrace,
Let's go,
Does this
Do it
have
one
to
at
be
a
a roll
time.
call vote?
yeah, let's go roll call.
roll call vote? Okay, we'll go right down the line then.
I'll call the roll.
Go ahead.
Henley,
I grant it.
Major,
Yes.
Brewster,
Yes.
Powers,
No, I can't do it, no consequence.
Schneider, yes. Garber,
Yes.
Yeah, just like,
and Zambo.
yes.
I was going off the minutes.
All right, we have
Sorry.
6 in favor, 1 against. The motion passes.
We know your name, so.
Can you tell me who the no votes were again? We have one.
The no vote was Hod Powers.
Okay. That was it?
That was it. Any additional comments? I vote to adjourn.
We have to pick the second.
We
Number
have-
2.
We had number 2, we need number 2. All right, do we have anyone that would volunteer to be secretary for the zoning board?
It's so rare that there's 2 meetings, 3 meetings in a year. Sometimes it's 5 years before
That's
before
true.
there's a meeting. I don't feel comfortable doing it because I'm really not a member.
If this wasn't my first meeting, I might, but I still don't understand the
It's
process.
a good place to jump in.
You know, jump into the fire.
You know how many fires I've jumped in already?
Very authoritative, and, you know,
We'll support you.
we got your back all the way.
Give me a couple more and maybe I'll
Okay.
think about it, but
No
not
problem.
right now.
Not a problem, Robert.
In my experience, this is, in 20-something years, this is probably the 5th or 6th ZBA meeting, just so you know.
Yeah.
The fact that we had 2 this year is so surprising that,
Don't ever remember that happening, you know, that 2 in a year. It's rare, but, all right, well, nobody wants to do it, then nobody wants to do it.
I'll do it.
Kevin, thank you, sir. We have Kevin Mazur is going to be our secretary. All those in favor? Say aye.
I'll make a motion to appoint Kevin Major as the secretary.
I second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? You have it, we thought you first did.
Yay, Kevin,
Thank you.
Kevin.
Okay, well, if nothing else is to be said, and is approved, we will adjourn our meeting. All those in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
All those opposed? We're done.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
For your consideration, I really appreciate it
Okay.
very much.